All right, we're almost done with recruiting. I created a little bit of intrigue in my last video by saying we didn't recruit everyone, or did we? Something really cool like that. And I'm actually taking a second to think. I need Peshmerga, and I need Homeboy on the Lake. There's one more, I think. Peshmerga, Homeboy on the Lake, because that's 2. And who the heck is the last one? It might just be those 2. Yep, I got 106. Let me double check with Richmond. He's probably gonna have one. He's gonna have the dude on the lake's name and then a bunch of question marks for recruiting advice. Oh, yeah, thank you. Nope, don't need companion secrets. Genshu. And this is a Maku Maku or something, and this is Peshmerga. I didn't double check the number of question marks compared to the number of characters, but I believe that to be correct. And I read up, while I was getting Jude over here, I should have gotten the hammer while I'm at Green Hill, because that's how you get Homeboy on the Lake. You gotta get the silver hammer. Then you upgrade your weapon using Tasai, who is currently a bad blacksmith. Like, he is early in the game level blacksmith. Like, I think even Homeboy on the Lake, like where he lives, there's a blacksmith his level. And that's early in the game, so it's embarrassing for him. Like, Tasai is supposed to be this famous blacksmith, and I bring him in, and he's like, oh, I'm not good at blacksmithing, by the way. I forgot to mention. This kid. Like, the nerve he has to tell his apprentice that he's improving. Like, hey, you're doing great. Good job. You're getting better. And you can't say you're getting better when he's way better than you. Like, he's currently the second best blacksmith in the game, because the Tento blacksmith is better. It's too bad and also weird that Matilda, City of Knights, doesn't have a blacksmith. Like, you'd think there'd be, several blacksmiths. Like, it should be a booming business when most of your citizens are knights. All right, so this is cool. We should easily be able to finish the 108 while we're in this video. Guess what? Oh yeah, he doesn't even thank me. He just says, I can do it. So much money. Look at that, I'm level 14. Now I'm level 15. And that was half of my money almost. So let's go ahead and do Nanami. Bajoom. 125. If you guys hear a bubbling, boiling, brewing sound in the background, I'm making coffee. Oh, here's that Star Dragon Sword you've just wet your pants over wanting to upgrade. Oh, you're not... I don't have enough money for you to do that. Okay, that's so interesting. This was like your greatest passion, and you're not even going to take the 37,000 potch I offered you. It's just interesting. No, I'm not going to say anything else. It's just interesting. Okay, so... wish I could remember the name of that place with the boat and the stuff. Not Rabbit Town, definitely not there. Lake West Town, they have... That'll be the fastest place to get to a boat. It's kind of stupid. Like, in the time I was talking to Vicky and looking over my options, I could have gotten to a boat. But instead I warped to Lake West Village to steal their boat. My coffee's ready. How exciting. I almost said fortuitous, but that's not a very good application of that word. You know what Lufia 2 has that other games didn't do is sea battles. So right now I could sail the ocean until the time ends, like, you know, the Earth or whatever, or till I die. I'll probably die before that. And but in Lufia 2, you're gonna get in sea battles all the time. Please join our group. I have a better weapon now. Oops. Damn it. Alright, glad that wasn't one of those like, you won't show me your weapon, I do not trust you, I will never join you. Alright, cool. I think he's actually pretty disappointing in battle. He's like, just kind of a dud. Alright, and then I'm going to warp back. And since I just stole this boat, I guess you just warp back and leave it there. Louis C.K. has a bit where he talks about... Let me warp to the Cave of the Wind, and then I'll resume that. That'll save me, 3 minutes. Louis C.K. has a bit where he talks about renting a car, and he was running late for his flight. So he just... he pulled up with his rental car to the airport and just left it there. And he called the rental place and said, "Hey, I left your car over here." And they were like, "Well, you can't do that." And he goes, "That's what I did, though. That's where your car is. If you want your car, you have to go get it." And he was expecting some kind of discipline, but they were just like, "Well, don't do that again." What else? He's like, what else are they going to do? Just not keep the car? That's the gist of it. Louis builds it better. I'm no Louis C.K. Which, I know he got canceled, but and people got mad about him winning some kind of award. It was a big award. I can't remember what it was. Comedy Album of the Year. Maybe it was last year, like a year ago. Grammys? Maybe he won a Grammy for Best Comedy Album. If that's a thing, that's what happened, I think. And people were so mad about it. But, I'm not going to say what he did wasn't wrong, because it was. But here's the thing, I don't know any other canceled person who went through the steps to try to redeem themselves. Other than Louis, he he talks about it in a special he did probably less than a year ago. And he doesn't paint himself to be a good guy by any means. And his biggest thing is if you're ever in a situation with a woman, you need to check in with her. He compares himself to a slave owner. He's like, it would be like a slave owner hearing them whistling and singing while they work and thinking, hey, they're having a great time. Because obviously that's not what was happening with Louis. He was making women uncomfortable. And he just overstepped his boundaries, and he acknowledged it. So I'm not good for you, Louis, but I think most celebrities who get canceled just try to pretend it didn't happen. And so I don't know. I'm not he used to be my favorite comedian. Now he's top 3. That's the biggest punishment I can give him. No, but seriously, to me, the biggest betrayal with Louis is he always had this, his comedy always had this oh, I'm just like you assholes. That's what I always felt like with Louis. That's what made me love him and feel when I was listening to his stand-up, I was like, yeah, I would do the same thing, Louis. You're one of us. But he used his power over women in a sexual way. And that's the part that upset me the most is you're not one of us. You're full of shit, just like the rest of the celebrities out there that we're supposed to think are great and perfect and whatever. But anyways, that's my spiel on Louis C.K. He's still a comedic genius. You can't be Louis C.K., he's just like Jim Gaffigan. He's like Tom Segura. Those are great comedians, but they're not Louis is in a different, he's not better than either of them, but he's Anyways, that's all I'm saying is like he's hard to replace. Farts Army, you must be Nick Cage. All right, Pezmerga joins. I think Pezmerga is like the only person who is on George's level. Got him at level 99, so this will be perfect to compare him. Yeah, let's go ahead and change formation. 815 health. It's funny that Pezmerga wouldn't just fully... Like, seeing he's got a cute little nose, it's like a little less intimidating, you know? Also, he only gets one rune, even at level 99. He didn't develop a second spot for a rune. Do you happen to want leather armor? I'm not trying to burp like Rick Sanchez mid-sentence like he does. Do you want a Mangosh? No, you can't use that. Oh, you can. You're just not giving up your Chaos Shield. Want some shoulder pads? No, you're good with Bolts of Wrath. Alright, I'll go ahead and warp back. And I know I just did this, but also I was kind of sidetracked, and I just want to double check that I'm at 108. They should give you some kind of little, like, I don't know, who would be the perfect person? I want to think of like a main character that has like kind of a cute personality. That'd be like, hey, wow, you sure have recruited a lot of people. I mean, Nanami comes to mind, but just doing this quick double check. All right, we got all 108. Perfect. Let's resume the game. I do want to see how Pezmerga stacks up with George. They're also, so they're equals and are like at least peers in the, I guess equal. I don't know if equal is a synonym for peer in this instance, but they're both the top tier. Oops, didn't mean to drop Nanami, but whatever. And I don't really need to add him, but I could just like look at his stuff and be like, oh, all right. All right, George, where are you? I have to be careful when I say that because my dog's name is Georgia. I don't want her to get any ideas. Did he say out of my way, boy? I don't think he would say that. Okay, so step 1, George has more health by 70 points. Alright, strength goes to George. Technique does too. Okay, so Pezmerga's better at magic, but it also doesn't matter because counter isn't a magical thing. It's just like a technique one, and there's no option for a second thing. Speed, still George. Protection, George. Magic defense. Okay, huge gap there for Pezmerga. That's like the one big thing. And then luck. Luck is George again. When you look at attack and defense, though, because like strength and protection are just like built on, are the foundations for attack. So, yeah. Pezmerga has a better weapon, because George is still 2 levels behind, and also George doesn't have as good of armor, so yeah. All right, anyways, it's almost like there's I've seen debates on who's stronger, Thor or Captain Marvel, and they say it's Thor when he has his hammer. Without his hammer, it's Captain Marvel, and I think that's kind of what's going on, like, by the current setup, it's Pezmerga, but if you were to give George the Thor's hammer, then all of a sudden it would be George, so. All right, well, Apple, I need to talk to you to start this next thing, but also I need to talk to you because you are who I set up war units with. All right, let's go to Muse. I don't think there's a war at Muse. Okay, maybe there is. General Kiba. And I will stay here. Alright, I don't know what's about to happen. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's a war that's about to happen. Flick should just be excited that the war is, like, balanced now. It's not just hand to mouth. You know? If you were to just like sit here at this screen, these soldiers should go on infinitely. I'm pretty confident. So like if you wait long enough, you could make a convincing argument that the Highland Army is vastly superior. But eventually it's like, well, how do you feed infinite people? And how many boat trips is it going to take for infinity people? So I don't know. If I was the Highland Army, I would take out the boats because, you know, it's hard to defeat infinity, but if they can't get to you. But I don't know. It's almost like if you guys like My Hero Academia, there's that soldier Double. No, I'm sorry. His name isn't Double. It's Twice. It's pretty similar though, right? Anyways, Twice, he can kind of replicate himself. If you're early in the show, I don't want to ruin it, but like season 5 or so, he taps into his power and he makes an army of himself, basically. Okay, so Nanami wants to explore. No change formation. Nick Cage, thank you for liberating Green Hill. You can't stay for free, though. You got a business to run. Oh, no. This old skank. You know what? Not too shabby that I've got Pesmerga and George with me. I'm ready to take on any assassin. You got Marvel and Thor. Which, in case... Oh, where did she go? They don't do that thing earlier in the game where everyone stares at the wall and leaves you at the obvious place. I can't remember who she is meeting with back here. Oh, Joey. Okay. A little sentimentality. Thank you, Lucia, for being an obvious bait person. Stay to protect. Nick Cage beat you by himself. And I have Pesmerga and Nanami and George with me. What do you think's going to happen? Nanami, Nick Cage, as your friend, I have a request. Quit as the leader of the Farts Army and run away somewhere. I wonder if Joey rethought this after seeing George and Pesmerga. Like, damn, those guys they can fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to fight you. You know, Joe, you're clearly losing this war, so it's kind of like, what do you think's going to happen, you know? It's like a selfish, hey, listen, can you leave this Farts Army? I'm trying to, also tell Shu to go with you. And also these two guys who are not just intimidating presences, but they also lead the 2 strongest units in the war. So, hey, why don't you just, you know, leave the war? Am I right? With all these people that I mentioned. I think Apple and Victor and Flick, they're not going to win the war, but if you get rid of all the people I just mentioned, maybe take Ridley with you too. Oh, this part's cool. I wish I'd built it up a little more. That's, Nanami asked why they have to keep fighting, and ever since we got these runes, we're destined to fight each other. That's a cool question. Would you accept a rune if it meant you and your best friend were destined to fight each other? I don't think I'd do it, but maybe. Maybe I should post that in the Reddit for Suikoden. Suikoden. Can't let you pass. I think depending on when you fight Kiaria, Nanami could or could not take her. So, you know, at one point you fight her as a group and it's not a very hard fight, but she's definitely stronger than when you fight her one-on-one. I don't think you fight her again, actually, but I may be wrong. Let's see how this does financially, because I lack money. Man, Pesmerga, you're the slowest out of the group and you're level 4. That would have beat George up because he has the low magic defense. Yeah, I was kind of afraid, like, those plants, they can really, those grand hollies, they can take a lot of damage. I noticed Pesmerga did like 500 something, and I think it's because of his blade is a fire or whatever. He's got the fury attached to it. Speaking of swords, it really bothers me that the blacksmith won't cut a deal for Victor. Like, that should even be a free or one potch charge. Says I. Alright, well, we gotta explore Green Hill, quote unquote. By that I mean go down the path that we went through 30 times throughout this game. I'm not mentally prepared. Partially because I want you to set up the army the way I want it. Okay. Let's say, okay, let's go next time, guys. See ya!